Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the stream, and hope you had a good weekend. Starting off, a lot of air alerts just cleared in the east. Ivano-Frankish just went off 2 minutes 52 seconds ago. Chernihiv, 4 hours 31 minutes. Ternopil, 3 hours 50 minutes. Klemensky, 4 hours 39 minutes. Venezia, 5 hours 48 minutes. Zhytomyr, hour 44 minutes, hour 44, hour 8 minutes, hour 1 minute. Different areas of Zhytomyr. And Kyiv Oblast has been under air alert for 2 hours 49 minutes. Again, we're talking between 2 a.m. and 4 a.m. Ukraine time. Russia loves attacking in the middle of the night to, mess with civilians' sleep schedule, basically. Going into operational information as of 8 a.m. January 26 regarding the Russian invasion. As always, we start with Glory to Ukraine. Pizza's being mean? No, pizza's not mean. Talking about Scotch eggs right now would be mean, because I've been dying for a Scotch egg. The 1068th day of the large-scale armed aggression of the Russian Federation against Ukraine has begun. The enemy, using its superiority in manpower and equipment, is attacking our positions. Ukrainian defenders are steadfastly holding back the onslaught of the invaders, inflicting significant losses on them. In total, 167 combat clashes were recorded over the past day. Yesterday, the enemy carried out 65 airstrikes, dropping 113 anti-aircraft missiles on the positions of Ukrainian units and settlements. In addition, it carried out over 5,000 artillery strikes, with 104 of those strikes being from multiple launch rocket systems. Russians also used 1,969 kamikaze drones. The aggressor carried out airstrikes, in particular in the areas of the settlements of Biroslava in the Kherson region, Malatomaka in Zaporizhia. Over the past day, missile troops and artillery of the defense forces struck 4 areas of concentration of personnel, weapons, and military equipment, 1 UAV, and 1 UAV control point of the invaders. They go right into Kupiansk direction, so thankfully that means Kharkiv did not have any assaults today, but 9 attacks by the invaders took place in Kupiansk. Defense forces repelled assaults near Petropavlivka, Pishkiani, Hushkivka, and Lozova. Going to the deep state map, Kharkiv, no assaults, thankfully. Coming over to Kupiansk, Petropavlivka, Hushkivka, Pishkiani, and Lozova. moving down to the south from Kupiansk into the Limansky direction, where the enemy attacked 26 times. He tried to wedge into our defenses near the settlements of Tverdovhiblovi, Novosorivka, Shakivka, Novokrulivka, Druzhelubivka, Grivkivka, Preshatrevne, and Kopanki, and in the directions of Novolubivka, Makivka, Zeleny Dolna, and Torske. I think that's pretty much every village in the Le Mans direction. First, Preshatrevne, Kopanki, Serhivka, Novosorhivka is here. Gorkivka, Makivka, Novolubivka, did not say Turney, did not say Yampolivka, Torsky, and Girohorivka. It's so hard to say correctly. The H's are G sounds, and it just messes with your mind from English. Again, Liman direction, just south of Kupiansk, where 26 assaults took place in the last day. Moving down to the south to the Kramatorsk going back up in the Service direction, the enemy conducted one attack in the Verkhnyo-Kamiansky area. So Liman, Servisk, and Verkhnyo-Kamiansky. And now going into the Kramatorsk direction, where Russia attacked 33 times in the last day in the areas of the settlements of Orokovo, Vaslivka, Novomarkovo, Chasiv, Stupochny, Pretechny, and Bilohora. Coming south from Savrisk, Orhovo, Vaslivka, of course, Chasiv, Stupochny, Pretechny, and Bilohora. So, yeah, widening. They're definitely widening, making attacks in a wider area. Sometimes the tongue just does not want to cooperate. From Orhovo, Vaslivka down to Bilohora. Going south from Chasiv, Konstantinivka into the Toretsk area, where the enemy carried out 10 attacks in the settlement of Toretsk. We do have video coming out of Toretsk in the last couple hours. Very, very eye-opening video. Okay, Neuro, when I read that, I do salsa and thought, dancing salsa. Like, oh, that's good to hear, Andrew. No worries, Nura. We all have life. We all need to do things. Like today, for me, I had things that were more important than sleep, and so I got to bed at like 10 o'clock this morning. So I missed a lot of what was going on today. I still haven't caught up on all of it. So I have an interesting time to go through before I try to fall asleep. Moving from the Tourette's direction to Pokrovsk, where our defenders stopped 52 assault actions of the aggressor in the areas of the settlements of Vodyany Druj, Elizavetivka, Mirolubivka, Promin, Zeleny, Udashny, Novoalexandrivka, Koltiny, Bodanivka, Andrivka, Shevchenko, Dachny, Ukali, Konstantinopolsky, and in the directions of Pokrovsk, Vidrozhena, and Upensivka. Those two are new towns for me, I think. So we might have to spend a little bit of time looking for those towns. Barandivka, Elizavetivka, Mirolubivka, Promin, Lysivka, Dashensky, Zeleny, that's not the Shevchenko they're talking about, I don't think. Koltiny, Udashny, Upensivka. Oh, I forgot Novoalexandrivka. Novoalexandrivka is right here, right next to Upensivka. Petropavlivka, Andrivka, Shevchenko, Dashny, and zooming in, Yantarny. Looking up those ones. I'm thinking this is just Pokrovsk area. So Vidrozhena. Let's go back up towards Pokrovsk. Pridnogena. I'm not seeing the name of the town. Oh, here's the other one I forgot. Vodyany Druj is this small town here. Zeleny Pol is this small town here. Yeah, I'm not seeing that town. Vidrozhena. Let's look at this in Ukrainian. So, Vidrozhena. So, get that back to English. And see if I could spot it one more time. Just want to make sure I'm being thorough and trying to get you guys the correct locations. Yeah, there's a lot of these little towns or subdivisions that that the deep state map just does not show sometimes, and it gets difficult sometimes to find the right town because, of course, spellings have changed, names have changed, and I am just not able to find that town at this time. So I apologize for not being able to find that town, but let's moving on to Novopavlivka direction, where the defense forces repelled 9 Russian attacks. Got to get my green tea in, keep my voice from drying out and cracking. The occupiers most actively tried to advance in the areas of Novosilka, Novodorivka, Constantinople, and Velika Novosilka. Coming to the south from Pokrovsk area, well, we know Constantinople, Velika Novosilka, Novosilka is over here somewhere. I just can't. Oh, my eyes did not want to see it. Novodorivka was the other one, which is also over in this area, if I remember correctly. Novodorivka, right here. So Novodorivka, Novosilka, Velika Novosilka, and Constantinople. The defense forces are making efforts to prevent the enemy from advancing deep into Ukrainian territory and have successfully repelled 2 enemy assaults in the Pridniprovska direction. So, meaning that Guliopol, Orhiv also had no assaults today. Coming down here to Pridniprovsk, they don't give towns where the assaults took place, but we can assume that they are in the islands here in the river delta. I don't think there's a Springfield in Ukraine. At least not the name Springfield. It might be the Ukrainian name for spring. In the Orhiv, Guliopol, and Kharkiv directions over the past day, the enemy did not conduct offensive operations. Always good news to hear. Ukrainian defense forces continued the operation in Kursk. Yesterday, Russian invaders carried out 33 airstrikes, dropping 57 guided aerial bombs, carried out 292 artillery shellings. Ukrainian defenders repelled 16 assault actions of the aggressor in Kursk. In the Volyn and Polizia directions, no signs of the formation of enemy offensive groups were detected. Our soldiers inflict significant losses on the occupation forces in manpower and equipment, and actively undermine the enemy's offensive potential in the rear. The report goes into the losses for the day. We'll cover that with the graphic next. And as always, we end the report with join the defense forces, Razom de Peremojemo, and Slava Ukraina. Grab the graphic for today. And total combat losses of the enemy on January 26, 1068th day of the full-scale Russian invasion. Today, Russia lost 1,720 personnel, bringing the total casualties for Russia up over 830,000. 9 tanks were added to the report today, almost up to 9,900. 4 APVs, 14 artillery systems, 40 UAVs, and 53 vehicles. Zelensky did give us a speech today, but first and foremost, because it's Sunday, it's Air Defense Day. These are the results of Russian strikes in Ukraine throughout the week. And yes, it's going to be on like 2.5 times speed when I open this. So I'll have to slow it down and restart it. And here is the results of Russian bombings for this week. And of course, Ukraine showing that more air defenses are needed. Be sure to bug your congressmen, senators, or outside of the U.S., other representatives, and make sure you remind them that Ukraine needs our support. Not for their sake, but for ours. And yes, Zelensky did a speech today. Here is the speech with English subtitles. Enjoy while I catch up on chat a little bit.
Бажаю здоров'я, шановні українці, українки. Сьогодні було багато військових доповідей із командувачами. Була також розмова з міністром оборони України про ситуацію на фронті, ключові наші напрямки Донеччина, також щодо районів проведення Курської операції. Скоро вже півроку наших активних дій на Курщині заради захисту української землі. Ми зберігаємо буферну зону на території Росії, щоб убезпечити від російських наступів наші Суми та Харків. Я дякую всім нашим воїнам, які захищають українські позиції та знищують окупанта. Передусім сьогодні я хочу відзначити воїнів 95-ї окремої бригади за дії саме на Курщині. Також хочу відзначити воїнів 25-ї окремої повітряно-десантної та 68-ї окремої єгерської бригад за ефективність на Покровському напрямку. І також 24-ту та 100-ту окремі механізовані бригади за героїзм в боях за Часів Яр і Торецьк. Я дякую вам, воїни. Доручив сьогодні посилити командний склад наших військ на Донеччині. Генерал-майор Михайло Драпатий направлений для керівництва оперативно-стратегічним угрупованням військ Хортиця. Це найжорстокіші напрямки боїв. При цьому Драпатий зберігатиме повноваження командувача сухопутних військ, найбільш чисельної частини наших Збройних сил. Це допоможе поєднувати бойову роботу армії з правильною підготовкою бригад. Саме фронтові потреби мають визначати стандарти комплектування і тренування бригад. Генерал-майор Андрій Гнатов направлений в Генеральний штаб на посаду заступника начальника Генштабу. І його завдання – це новий рівень підготовки оперативних штабів та вища якість взаємодії між штабами і фронтом. Ми обговорили ці та деякі інші зміни з главкомом Олександром Сирським. На всіх рівнях завдання поставлені. І ще одне. Я хочу подякувати всім українським розробникам та виробникам далекобійних дронів, наших ракет. Кожен може побачити їхню ефективність, як наша зброя повертає війну в Росію і як зменшується російський потенціал війни. Неспокій в Росії, зменшення російських можливостей продавати і переробляти нафту, менші глобальні ціни на нафту – це те, що потрібно заради миру. Цей рік має стати вирішальним, і наші дії повинні впливати на нашу долю. Саме так і робимо. Ну і, звичайно, усі хлопці з Служби безпеки України, Сил спеціальних операцій, усіх наших Збройних сил України, СЗР, ГУР, кожен, хто додає свою силу, свою влучність до спроможностей України. Дякую вам всім. Слава Україні!
Героям слава. Zelensky letting us know about some of the changes he made in the army. You know, you have to give the generals breaks too. Strengthening of the Donetsk region. You know, Cortesia. That is the YouTube channel that I promoted for you guys yesterday. Mass media reports explosions. Doesn't say where, just in Ivano-Frankish. That happened 3 minutes, 50 seconds ago. Sumy region air alert started 6 minutes ago. I'll have to see about those explosions. But, YouTube. This is the new brigade. And, of course, they're starting out with a new YouTube channel. So look for new and exciting videos from these guys as they dip their feet into Donetsk. The link is in chat if you want to go and subscribe. They're only at 123 subscribers. Send them some love. Hit that subscribe button. And be sure to say that you're watching from wherever you're watching from. They will appreciate the support. Getting back into Telegram. I have to open this one up. It's the only new one out there. But apparently there was a testing meeting at the EU. Polish Prime Minister Donald Tusk told Orban that if he tried to block sanctions against Russia, there would be harsh consequences for Hungary, and that the bloc was now fed up with his tactics. You know, if you guys watch Habitual Line Crosser, you know, Polish is like the European Texas. And I see why he uses that terminology, because Poland doesn't care. They'll just bleh. Um, yeah, meanwhile, fecal matter of Slovakia faced huge protest in his countries against his policy. Blamed the protest on Ukrainian refugees and said that Ukraine will never get to join NATO, and at this rate, not the EU either. Yeah, threats to push his agenda. This might be getting a little too political for where I like to go, but last night Elon Musk appeared by video supporting the far-right AfD group, telling them that they could change not just Germany but Europe. It felt very 1933. That's saying something coming from, well, the analyst on this channel is actually German. So when a German's telling you that feels very 1933, he's being very, very polite, saying, in other videos I have today, but I wanted to show this one. The Kraken unit got a new toy, a German-supplied armored recovery vehicle, British Panzer II, upgraded with reactive armor plates. So, Kraken can do more tank recoveries now. They got a hell of a hook. So, a bit of a preview as I get back to the beginning of the day. Oh, helps if I go to here. So, a bit of a preview from today's videos. Like, I started seeing stuff like, I don't remember linking that. Yeah, it helps if I'm on my channel, not somebody else's. And here we are at the beginning of the day talking about the drones overnight from last night. Russia launched 72 UAVs, 50 were shot down, 9 were taken out with electronic warfare, unfortunately leaving 13 that hit their targets. 110th Brigade wants to let you know that there is no threat of encirclement of our units in Velika Novosilka. We have parity with the enemy in artillery and drones, but the enemy has a great advantage in infantry. Equipment is almost not used by either side. Our defenders are fighting like lions with extraordinary courage. Our units skillfully withdrew from the areas where they was a threat of encirclement, taking advantage of the weather conditions. As of now, fighting in the city continues. All actions are aimed at minimizing our losses and maximizing damage to the enemy. As for the condition of the city itself, there is no intact buildings left in the settlement. And, well, here's the evidence. So what you're saying, Nick, is LJ is Wednesday from the Addams Family and you're a normie? Ronnie, how many times have I told you? Age doesn't matter. It's the mileage. You could have a 2-year-old car with 100,000 miles on it. It's going to have the same problems as a 10-year-old car with 100,000 miles on it. But that is what Velika Novosilka looks like after Russia brings their Russia Mir, the Russian world, the Russian peace to Velika Novosilka. This one might piss a few people off. Last night, the Russians dropped 6 guided aerial bombs on a hospital in Burislav. Thankfully, there were no casualties, but some of the medics received concussions. This is a hospital building. Russia knew it was a hospital building. There's going to be a lot of pictures today. I apologize in advance, not for the lack of videos. There were a lot of videos, but a lot of ones I can't show on YouTube. The search and rescue operation has been completed in Zaporizhia. They have been clearing rubble since January 18th after an enemy attack on the city. They basically destroyed a 9-story apartment building. The body of a 27-year-old man was recovered from the rubble, bringing the death toll from the Russian strike to 2. No video, just an image of what they were sifting through to find that young man. Kupiansk. The enemy is intensively attacking Kupiansk with guided aerial bombs. At least 4 private homes and power lines were damaged. No information about casualties at that time. And then with the update, 1 woman was injured. She was at a broken bone from a mine blast injury. She is in the hospital. Here is the video. Yeah, I live by the rule that from the Toys R Us jingle, I don't want to grow up. I'm a Toys R Us kid. A hidden Russian tank was found, and the 59th OS Separate Infantry Brigade, I think. I can never remember the abbreviations for the brigades. Sent an FPV drone and, well, gave us a nice big boom.
Стой тут. Никуда не уходи. Я сейчас. Я шепну тебе на ушко.
Аннигиляторная пушка!
Мені подобається, як воно горить, як люди суетяться, пожарки приїжджають. Люди в шокі, глаза аж вилазять у них. А мені це по приколу.
Nice big boom from the Russian tank. When I talk to you about videos I can't show, this one is probably one of them if it was not in thermal. Having received a fine from the patrol police in the form of shrapnel wounds, Vanka easily and casually took out a grenade and blew himself up. Now here's a good song. Unfortunately, we don't get to hear it long, and that Russian will never hear it again. Air defense was doing some work. The Air Force of Ukraine between the 20th and 26th, air defenses shot down over 500 enemy attack aircraft vehicles, including 2 guided aircraft missiles, 375 Shaheeds, 71 reconnaissance drones, and 59 other drones. Here is the video from the Air Force for this week. When Russia talks about smoking accidents, I wonder if this is what they mean. That is the scene from a gas station in Rostov today. What I think is interesting is look at the prices for fuel in Russia. Yeah, when you do the conversion, so 66 rubles per liter. Yeah, it's about the only thing Russia has going for it is cheap gas. The Orion says a lot of people downplay the usefulness of MiG-24s. They are old, but Ukraine still has them, and theirs are still in good condition. They would also be highly advantageous in breaching. The reason that it's being downplayed, in my opinion, is that for a long time, Ukraine's Air Force has not been able to operate. With all the Patriot systems and other air defense systems that are in Ukraine now, Russians really cannot put aircraft over Ukrainian-held land. That's why they're using so many guide bombs, because they travel farther and they don't have to get close to Ukrainian air defenses. So that's like within the last 8 months that's been going on. So you're definitely seeing more and more action from the Air Force. Oh, hey, JJ. JJ Killers is in the chat. Welcome to the chat. And I need to remember to go to live chat rather than top chat. I wish that was a setting I could do to just automatically do that. Okay. Oh, hey, Siri. Good to see you. Just in time for probably one of my favorite videos of the night. You can see my comment here, Chain Gang Meat Assault. This is a video from the side of Russia. You see the handcuffs. The guys are all chained together. See the handcuffs there? You know, they're handcuffed together, thrown in the back of this truck, and taken to the front. And you see the guys in the back of the truck working on picking the handcuffs. Yeah, let me go into battle with my chained to the guy next to me. That is in the elite Russian 15th Guard Motorized Rifle Brigade. Apparently, it is customary to take its servicemen on combat mission in handcuffs, and they are chained to each other. One can only imagine how much fun this bastard will have flying an FPV drone. This is another one of those stories that will never be shown on Russian television. No, Russian television right now is too busy trying to convince people that everything is fine. The economy is not collapsing. Please continue to go to work and buy products. The 46th Brigade sent out a video compilation where I swear one of the guys in this video, Ukrainian soldier, is the reincarnation of Elvis, because, well, you'll see the return descender. A couple drone drop videos. Okay, I'm going to pause it right here. Ukrainian soldier, root cellar, and I wish my reactions were as quick as this soldier's. Right there. They threw a grenade out of the cellar. Back that up so we see it again. So you'll notice that the Ukrainian soldier was getting ready to throw a grenade down there himself. He sees the grenade, tosses the grenade he had in his hand, and the Russian grenade back down into the cellar. The Ukrainian units moving in, Russians coming out of that hole and trying to run away. But you can't run from the FPV. You should care how Russians think, because if you understand how they think, when they're talking their rhetoric, you understand what they mean. For example, Peter Zihan, on Russian security images. This guy here, his name is Peter Zihan. He is an analyst and demographer. He's been talking about Ukraine since 2014. And I think this is probably one of the most important images that you need to understand as a supporter of Ukraine. And Peter Zihan published this picture in 2016. When Russia talks about security and, Russia needs to feel secure, this is the border that Russia feels they need to be secure. You notice that border includes Estonia, Latvia, Lithuania, part of Poland, part of Romania, all of Ukraine, all of Moldova, Georgia, Armenia, and Azerbaijan. This is what Russia feels they need to be secure. If you ever thought it was going to stop in Ukraine, if it's not. If Russia was able to take over all of Ukraine in the 3 days that they fought, it wouldn't have stopped there. We'd be talking about Moldova right now, or Georgia, or Azerbaijan, Armenia. And then he'd go for the NATO countries, Romania, Poland, Lithuania, Latvia, and Estonia. Because Russia does not have security, according to them, without these borders. Let's see if it's in here. This one. This is another important one. When Russia collapsed in 1991, before that, the USSR controlled all these blue lines, which were access points into the USSR. When the collapse happened in 1991, they controlled 1, 2, and 3 of them. Russia has waged something like 16 wars since then. The Chechen wars over here. Kazakh interventions to gain control of this corridor. The invasions into Georgia to control this corridor. Crimea. There's only 3 left that Russia does not control. Besparian Gap, the Polish Gap, and the Baltic Sea. Russia needs those 3 gaps to be controlled to feel secure militarily. And that is what leads to that map. This controls those 2 gaps. Crimea controls the Black Sea. Besparian Gap controls between the Black Sea and Carpathians. Carpathians are secure up until Poland. You know, they need to control at least a small part of Poland up to Warsaw, and the eastern side of the river, Lithuania, Latvia, Estonia, Belarus, Ukraine, Moldova, so on and so forth. So, yeah, I think anyways, the whole point of this is if you can understand this, you understand that it's not going to stop in Ukraine unless Ukraine stops it. I wish I could, Orion. I haven't followed that Kaliningrad very well. So I can't speak from knowledge on that point. But again, this isn't my theory. This is Peter Zehan's theory, and he's been talking about this since 2014 for 11 years. And people are finally going, oh shit, he's right. Ravina, 14 minutes ago, had the error alert added. Getting back to the videos, we just showed the return to sender. And here we get to see our troops storming a building and taking prisoners in Toretsk. Well, here's the video. Not Anna. Well, first Russian comes out of the cellar, gives up. Second one. Third one. Fourth one. Now pay attention. Here comes the fifth one. But he has a change of heart.
Закріпились на першому етажі. 4 пленних підара. Закріпились на першому етажі.
I'd agree, Orion. It's an issue that EU knows about. What is it called? The Swali Gap or whatever it is between Belarus and Kaliningrad. Yeah, it's not a very good situation. Operators of the RUPAC, Phoenix of Promstab Brigade of the State Security Service, dismantled 3 armored personnel carriers in the Donetsk region. Yeah, something like that, Marshall. Well, that's kind of what I talk about a lot here about, becoming a voice. I'm not a news reporter. I'm not, trying to earn a living off YouTube or anything. I'm just trying to get the word out there. I would be extremely happy for this war to be over and I can go back to posting my gardening videos and stuff like that and not talking about bombs dropping, FPV drones. I'd be extremely happy to go back to my simple life. But there are so many facets to this war that no one person can cover everything. The reason I started doing this stream was during Israel stuff. And at the beginning of the stream, I started just talking about this report. I've added more to it, taken some away, But, they're talking about, Israel bombed Lebanon with 5 missiles today. And that was news that was played over and over again for 10 hours on TV. And I'm like, really? 10 bombs used or whatever. And here's 5,000 every day artilleries. Here's 113 bombs from aircraft being used every day. 2,000 kamikaze drones every day. And nobody was putting these numbers out there, or nobody that I knew. So I just decided to start doing this stream and showing off what Russia is attacking with every day. The number of attacks in each direction, showing people the individual towns where the attacks are happening. So when they hear about Toretsk, they know where it is. When they hear about, an attack in Servisk, they know where that's at. I just hope, my hope from this is I inspire somebody else to go out and do the same. Start a channel, support Ukraine, get the word out there. Try to fight some of the bullcrap propaganda that's going on. Yeah, I talk about my opinions on things a lot sometimes, but I try to stick with what is reported directly from, ZCU. Armed Forces of Ukraine. This is their website. This is their news feed. They have other stories here. Sniper group stopped an enemy assault in Kursk. Important targets in Ryazan and Kerch regions targeted. They have stories pretty much every day, and they do this daily update, and this is what I've chose to do. Heck, if you speak Spanish, there's so many Spanish speakers in this world. Go do the same thing in Spanish. I'll show you where to get all the links, the Telegram channels to sign up to get the videos, and which ones are good and which ones are going to be scary for YouTube. Arabic. Well, I mean, if you're here on YouTube, you know about a certain someone that makes videos and gives away, islands and shit in the Bahamas and stuff like that to make videos. He translates them into like 8 or 9 different languages and makes billions of dollars on YouTube from that. I don't know enough of other languages to do these streams in that language other than English, so I'm doing it in English. Something else? Copy my stream. I don't care. I'm not saying his name because I'm not going to promote him. Let the Spanish speaking world, let the Arabic speaking world know what's happening for real in Ukraine. I'd love to see it. I'll be your first subscriber. Just let me know. Occupiers took us for their own and surrendered. 3rd Assault Brigade operation. Just hop into the video.
Мы русские, с нами Бог.
Давайте, хохлы! Вот, выходит.
Первый у нас контакт. Російською говорить.
Працює третя штурма.
Вітаємо на українській землі, хлопці.
Ми заїхали на нову зону відповідальності. Із-за того, що постійна інтенсивність боїв, дуже складно позицію вкопати і забезпечити безпечне несення служби.
Ми далі продовжуємо? Посадку треба заходити.
Okay, give you an idea about my mindset. I see this video, I look at the ground and I go, "Ooh, that's nice dirt." You can grow a really good garden in this dirt, that's for sure.
Ми напротив.
Я прийняв рішення піти і знешкодити передову СПшку, яка знаходилась за 200 метрів від переднього краю. Як я зрозумів, задача тої СПшки була чисто спостерігати за переміщенням техніки, яка проводить ротацію, і переміщення особового складу на передньому краї.
Що?
Метрів 100, наче окоп був.
Да.
Ми повинні були переміщатися без супроводу своїх пташок і відповідно, щоб не попасти на ворожі пташки.
Це наша літає. Братан, скажи, хай птічка над лісою полосою не літає. Тільки зі сторони поля.
Ми якраз рухалися з сліпої сторони, коли вони нас не бачили.
Ти бачиш їх? Ідуть. Ти їх бачиш?
Підходимо до самого бліндажа. Противника на СПшки не було виявлено, але голоса з бліндажа йшли.
Блінчик.
Ask me that again at the end of the stream, Bills.
В блиндаже люди.
В бліндажі люди. А як далеко бліндаж?
Нам залишалося до підходу до бліндажа 50 метрів.
Пусть погукає, пі***а. Дай узко. Сука, російською говори.
Мы сначала с ними на разговоры шли. Они не выходили. Ко мне уже потянулся Сопром. Мы сели, заняли бойові позиції. Умовно там укриття, яке там у нас було там дерев'я. Чую, типа, як підки говорять, щоб вони починали типу, бій, щоб вони стріляли.
Каже, стріляй.
Говорят, стреляй.
В бліндаже.
Готовте темку.
Мы приняли решение, что надо кидать гранаты и помаленьку уже к ним сближаться. Дальше мы зачищаем просто блиндаж. Я своему другому номеру сказал, что він мені дав дим.
Well, at least it wasn't friends, Shelly.
Сапром, крий.
Мы тебя крием, иди.
Підходь туди, готуй і докидайте в окоп. Пошли.
Пройшло ще буквально десь хвилина, побачили, що з бліндажа ніхто не виходить, значить, або він погано його закинув, або там кілька поворотів і їм цей дим до барабану. Почали кидати гранати.
Ты кинешь?
Давай. Пошли.
That guy's got a future in baseball.
Я запропонував групі відіграти сценку. Типа ми військовослужбовці Російської Федерації і штурмуємо зараз позиції хахлов. І ми почали кричати: хахли, здавайтеся, підете, виходіть. Хлопці всі кричали російською мовою, ну да, може вона там трохи ламана, ну.
Хохлы, сдавайтесь!
Пацани, здавай!
Хахли.
7-й. Контроль.
Я кинул гранату, кинул Сопром гранату.
Хахли, здавайтесь!
Волк! Кричи, хай сдаются. Подходи к блиндажу.
Потім уже Сопром подошел к самому входу, то есть я сидел, контролировал выход с блиндажа, и он просто в ту дырку прям закинул гранату.
Они еще там. Там.
Сдавайтесь, хохлы!
Після 2 чи 3 криків «хахли, здавайтеся!» ми почули голос.
Пид начали кричать: вы что,
Здесь свои, кого вы штурмуете? Мы говорим, мы не верим.
Я говорю, они не сдаются, типа, ну что делать, типа, дальше? Да, це каже, типа, чистить блиндаж. Ну все, мы с Сапроном подрываемся, то есть я начал наваливать по входу, который я изначально крыл.
Хохлы, выходите!
Выходите, показывайте, нам нужно убедиться, что здесь свои.
Свои!
Свои!
выходите!
If you don't understand what's going on in this video, 3rd Assault Brigade guys are yelling into the trench the Russian slur for Ukrainians and telling them to surrender, making the guys think that they're Russians, thinking that the people in the Russians in the dugout are Ukrainians, to get them to come out of the dugout.
Свои мужики нормально, все, уходи.
Парни, блядь, свои! Чё вы не отзываетесь? Чё вы, язык в жопу запнули? Не слышу, парни!
Сколько вас человек? 6. Все выходим на улицу.
У нас голосовой контакт. 6 человек в блиндаже. 6 человек в блиндаже, я понял.
Все без оружия, без брони, быстро. Оружие, броню положили, выходим.
Вы точно свои, блядь? Выходи, быстрее!
Oh yeah, they're tricking them.
Они спросили, откуда мы, типа. Я сказал, что мы 12-ка танкова.
12-ка! Быстро на улицу.
Голосовой контакт. 6 человек в блиндаже. Выманиваем, убалтываем, как понял.
Виходіть, парні!
Без оружия, без брони, быстро, блядь.
Вони, коли почали виходити, вони думали, що ми одна із штурмових груп, яка повинна була робити якраз накат на мої позиції, і ми просто перепутали. Вони кажуть, що в них вже таке, я з ними колись спілкуюся, каже, у нас вже таке було, коли штурмова група переплутала точки і робила накат на свої ж позиції. Типа. І ми вирішили отіграти те саме. І коли ми почали кричати «Хахли, здавайтесь», вони поняли, що це свої і треба якось спробувати договоритися. Ну, на цьому ми і виїхали.
Руки показал перед тем, как выйти.
Що ми були уверені, що це наше.
Сказали, что хохлы взяли его.
Сказали, что здесь хохлы. Руки показал быстро. Не вижу. Вышел быстро. Броню снял.
Если наш, пускай будет, просто без оружия.
Без оружия.
Быстрее!
По одному. Не тупим. Сука, и автомат вижу. Стоять! Стоять на месте, я сказал. Стоять! Стоять! Стоять на месте. Не шевелись. Не рискуй, не рискуй.
Все, выходите! Выходите, блин! Выходи! Сейчас птички работать начнут, сука!
Раз, есть! Вышел
Есть.
быстрее.
Вийшов.
Второй. Лёг. Вот туда.
Направо, льох.
Сотому
Вот там і впав, льох.
руки. Упал.
Давай, туди,
Быстрее.
що рядом впав.
They're not disrespectful to Ukrainians any more than they are disrespectful to anybody else.
Лёг рядом, сука, не
They're
шевелись.
even disrespectful to each other.
П'ятий, виходи.
Да быстрее!
Север, взяли в плен 6, как понял.
Руки.
Молча.
Okay, I'm not going to pronounce the word, but the word you're talking about, Heather, directly translates to a tuft, referring to the Ukrainian hairstyle where like most of the head is shaved and the hair is pulled into a tuft of hair, and you know, like a top ponytail.
Волчар. Да, волчар. Готов. Туда забросить туда.
Вони почали лягати, виходили довго, ми почали їх торопити, щоб вони швидше, тобто виходить перший, другий сразу.
Третій, четвертий, п'ятий, шостий. Кажемо, все, хорошо, уходимо.
Все, парни, поднимаемся. Уходим, поднимаемся. Давай, быстрее, парни, блядь. Сука, нам сказали, что хохлы штурманули эту хуйню. Все, только без резких движений.
Вони дупляни відстрелюють, куди, що йти, хто вони починають. Парні, ми точно свої. Є русські воєнники, парні, все так. Я говорю, хорошо, зараз пойдемо на одну з наших СПшек і убедимося, проверимо. Як я йому ще сказав, на штаб, зараз перевіримо документи. И все, хорошо, парни, только не стреляйте, только не стреляйте.
За мной по одному, быстро.
Конечно.
С собой, мы русские мужики.
Точно?
Клянусь.
Свои, давай. Проходи.
Спасибо, ребят.
Проходи.
Отвечаю, вот военник внутри в кармане, братва.
Ми перепитуємо, чи є там ще хтось з військовослужбовців. Вони говорять, там більше нікого нету, є один тільки 200.
Там больше никого нету, парень.
Я один 200-й, мужики.
Все, 200-й по... Давай.
Частина групи забирає цих 6 пленних. Я даю команду в овчарі закидати портфель, в якому знаходиться ТМ-ка з ГШ-шнуром, для того, щоб ліквідувати вже цей бліндаж. Підтягується з половини групи, починаємо відходити, закидається ТМ-ка в бліндаж. Розрахована була на 2,5 хвилини, якраз групі було достатньо, щоб відкатитися.
Свои.
Свои, ну а чому?
Проходи.
Мені сказали забирати підки. И, получается, я продублював підки, щоб вони йшли за мною. Я по-русски прям сильно там не говорил, поэтому я, коли вийшов в поле, я говорю, мужики, то есть у меня был акцент поставлен уже на то, что я просто говорю мужики. Я говорю, мужики, смотрим на меня, делаем так, как я. Они такие, да, все, типа, хорошо, все четко.
Север, я первый. У нас пополнение. Возвращаемся на базу. Пускай парни нас встретят. Только аккуратно.
Тіпи взагалі не відстрілюють, що до чого. Вони до останнього думали, що ми їх ведемо просто для того, щоб перевірити документи. Я хуй знаю, що у них там в голові було, на що вони надіяли.
Там обосрались, мужики. Плен, думал, стреляться.
Не.
Я хуямся в плен, я думал, ладно, стреляться, блядь.
Я въебался до последнего, говорю, да, братуха, повезло, что не хохлы.
Чтобы вы понимали, мы же должны были делать с утра на Туля Сополку накат.
Ну, а делали ж наши пацаны там накат.
И как, успешно?
Нет.
Блять.
И мы 2 раза накатывали, до этого тоже не хуй.
Говорят, у них пулеметчик там стоит хороший.
170, как это, 370 или 170 пулемет там стоит. Я сам видел своими глазами. Я...
А вы большими группами делали накаты?
3-4.
Блять. Это хуй нужно. Штурмовой группы 7-8
I'll
человек.
comment on that in a minute, Orion.
Потери хотя бы не понесли?
Okay, 5 minutes.
Сколько?
Каждый раз 1-2, 1-2.
Поворачиваю голову, чую взрыв.
Бревна поразлетались бревна.
Такий, знаю, все, хорошо, все сработало, ведемо їх на передній край.
Нам вообще сказали, что здесь хохлы.
Здесь?
Да.
Так дальше да.
Нет,
У нас-
прямо здесь вот, прогал, понял.
Ты видел хотя бы одного? Давно воюешь?
Первый месяц пошел, как контракт подписал. Вот первый БЗ.
Слава.
Первый БЗ.
Середина 22-го года. Солидар, Бахмут,
Вот пацаненок у нас в Вагнере. идет.
окраины Мариуполя.
Вот пацаненок с нами идет, в Вагнере тоже там они Бахмут.
До речі, це дуже корисні полонені були. Там саме був закріп, який вже знаходився 13 днів. Вони знали переміщення, вони дали точки, де знаходяться ще їхні групи, координати міномету,
Yeah, milking them for
координати
information
взльоту,
too.
АГСа, ПТУРа, кулемета. Откуда вони це все знали? Тому що ці орудия були розміщені на їхній тропі логістики, через яку вони вже затягувалися сюди. Плюс вони здали КСП їхнього ротного, в них була на руках карта на телефоні. Ну, жирні оказалися.
Заебало нас.
Ну конечно, да у нас же тоже пизда, хоть мы далеко
Да.
от войны, но у нас же...
Да. Да, братан, я понимаю. Видишь, что значит тайминг и правильная работа.
У меня вопрос села, вы представляете?
Всех приветствую в Хохляндии.
Я дивлюся на годинник і розумію, що у нас приблизно ще хвилин 40-50 і можна попробувати буде знешкодити второй бліндаж. Ефекта неожиданности уже не получится, и нужно будет вступить в бой, это 100%.
Подходь. Да. За мной тоже.
Проходить десь приблизно хвилин 25. Хлопці говорять, що вступили в бій, в них контакт.
Контакт.
Коли підери вже почали по нам вести огонь, ми почали вести у відповідь. З бліндажа вийшов перший підер, його одразу забаранив.
Первый у нас контакт. Контакт с поля тоже.
Два пидора решили обойти через задний вход, у них выход был в поле.
That's not the right
Тобто вони
translation
бачили,
for
що
that
там
word.
як по окопній лінії. Коли вони хотіли зробити маневр, Сапрон сказав, що у нього контакт, тому що він бачить пи. Ми закидали гранати і вже, виходить, передвигалися назад з Сапроном по двойкам, бо він крив, я біг там на пару метрів, потім він мене крив.
Гранату, гранату. Плюс, плюс, плюс.
They must have used Google for this translation.
Отходим, отходим. Отход.
Пошли!
Фатум заніс уже коли
For the record, the word they're using, pidr, is the Russian word for fucker.
група відходила темку в саму внутрь бліндажа, ще раз поставив. І уже по факту ми дивилися по обльотам, бліндаж повністю знешкодився і бревна порозліталися. Закріпитися можливості немає.
Вы услышали, когда мы подошли?
Да. Ну, услышали, увидели дым или что это?
Не, вы только когда
So
дым
when you
увидели,
see
да?
the translation saying
перед тем, как забросить
the
дым,
one
еще 5
F word,
минут,
they're
находились
meaning
возле вашего
fucker.
укрытия.
It should be
Соответственно, вы не
translated as
слышали.
fucker, not
Наблюдения не
that
вели.
other F word.
Сколько у вас радиостанций было на шестерку вашу? Вас 7 было, да?
6.
А 200-й?
Ну, 1 200. Он уже там 10 дней лежит.
А, вы что, не выкинули его?
И мы не знаем, что с ним делать.
Ты что, а он, сука, воняет. Вы что, гоните, пацаны? Ну, от этого ж можно умереть. Вы что, гоните? А вы поняли, кто подошел?
Нет.
Нет. Но вы до последнего думали, что мы свои.
Но мы думали, что вы русские. Вы только здесь сейчас вообще узнали, что вы не украинцы.
Цим ми відтягнули ЛБЗ на майже 300 метрів. Плюс знешкодили 4 військовослужбовця, 2 ранили, 6 взяли в полон. В той час, коли моя група не понесла ніяких втрат. Ні одного 200, ні одного 300.
So not a single wounded soldier on the Ukrainian side. 4 Russians, 200,
Давайте.
2 300s, and 6 prisoners.
Давай, 3
Not
направо,
a
3
bad
налево.
day of work for
Давай, в темпе,
3rd Assault Brigade. I'm going to close this out and go to the air alert map. We still have more videos to go through, but another explosion reported in Ivano-Frankish. In Ivano-Frankish city itself. This was 13 minutes ago. Another explosion happened just over an hour ago in the region. Lviv under air alert for 13 minutes. Ravine 43 minutes. Ivano-Frankish 1 hour 31 minutes. Chernihiv 5 hours 59 minutes. Ternopil 5 hours 18 minutes. Klemensky 6 hours 7 minutes. And the southern part of Zhytomyr for about 3 hours. With that covered and out of the way, Orion says, I don't want to write off all Russians as a-holes, but their soldiers have no conviction or honor. There was a Russian streamer that was streaming in English, walking through the streets of Moscow, and hauled off. Just some stranger out of nowhere just hauls off, hits him in the head, cuts his head open, and tells him, speak Russian, you fucker. That's how Russians treat each other. That's how they are. I have a friend next town over, has been in the U.S. for 30 some years, still holds a Russian passport, and when I pronounced Kiev instead of Kiev. Oh, don't change the fucking name too. That, and to me personally, that speaks volumes. It probably the combination of both, Niels. Yeah, that's what that's what I was trying to address there, Ryan, because that word is being mistranslated. Because of, you can't say the 4-letter word, so you come up with something else that's similar in meaning. Well, no, it's not similar in meaning. It means fuckers. A pidor is a fucker. Suka is a bitch. But they don't translate it as that. They try to come up with a more acceptable term, and they failed this time when they run it through translation. I'm guessing that was an auto translator. Yeah. No, the only time Russians put up a family picture in their home is after the person died. They'll put like a memorial up in the corner of the room. There's a clip I played yesterday. 80-year-old lady in Russia saying Stalin should have killed all the Ukrainians in 1930s. It's crazy the mentality they have towards anybody that doesn't belong to Russia. Uh, 23rd Brigade continued to torment the bastards in Rozdolny, which they have turned into a hub for accumulation and are sending them on further assaults. So you guys know where Rozdolny is. Velika Novosilka, Rozdolny, Khodorkova, Pokrovsk, and again, Rozdolny is right here. So you have a locational context for this video, and here it is. Ukrainians attacked the Ryazan oil refineries again. You may have seen this picture about, but here is some videos from civilians in the area. Those are some of the videos out there. I couldn't tell some of the videos from previous days, so I wasn't sure. Another video from Third Assault. Magically destroyed Peter quads, trucks, mortars, and infantry. No enemy hide will escape the FPV of the Third Assault. I love this little sound effect they put into these videos. Not a turret toss, but a roof toss at the end there. Air defense at work. Eastern Command of the Air Force shares air defense shooting down a Shaheed. Bit like a strobe light.
Місце падіння збитого БПЛА на полі. Ось воронка. Ось.
Dirt bike assault by the Russians. You can tell they're running out of armor because they're sending troops to combat on dirt bikes rather than with an infantry fighting vehicle. Looks like Ukrainians have a new set of dirt bikes to go out and, well, either bomb or grab up and use. Another video coming out of Toretsk. A tank, a Bradley infantry fighting vehicle, and an MRAP helped Ukrainian forces break through to a street in Toretsk, engage Russian infantry, and capture prisoners. You saw part of this video before. This is a view from, well, outside.
Працюємо, не мішаємо! Пацани!
So we've seen this part already.
Закріпились на першому етажі. 4 пленних підара. Закріпились на першому етажі.
And that is all the videos I have today. Warriors Ukrainian Telegram channel is putting out 2 more notices. So, a new electronic Jeep for Ukrainian army. Story by the Telegraph, if you want to go check that out. Unity Air Force of the Armed Forces of Ukraine, cooperating with other components, struck warehouses for storing attack UAVs, Shaheeds, in Oryol region of the Russian Federation. In particular, concrete structures were hit where the thermobaric warheads were stored. Oh boy. Which were used to equip the drones. A strong secondary detonation began. It is known that 200 plus enemy attack UAVs were destroyed. Other data on the results of the defeat are being clarified. Literally coming out, that information coming out an hour ago. That is extremely good news. I cannot wait to see the videos for it, which we'll probably have tomorrow. That is all I have for that. Ravine and Sumy air alerts have dropped off. Just the southern half of Zhytomyr, Klemensky, Ternopil, Ivano-Frankish, and Lviv left. But Bill's Garage, if you're still here, he asked a question about plants native to Ukraine. Let's find out. No, spruce, oak, pine trees, fir trees, peonies, sunflower. That doesn't seem like the right. Como Botanical Gardens, native plants of Ukraine. This seems like it'll be more of what we want to know. Now, silver firs, weeping willow, Swiss stone pine trees. Well, silver fir, larch tree, mugo pine, hornbeam, European hornbeam, 2 different varieties. Pussy willows are apparently native to Ukraine. Sea kale, cloth of gold, caracas. Couple different beech trees, more than a couple. Stone pine, oak trees. Okay. It's really going to be hard to say what is really native to Ukraine, because Ukraine's kind of the crossroads between Asia, Eurasia, Europe, and Africa. It is the grain belt, the major farming area of Europe. And it's been cultivated for thousands of years. So if you're thinking edible plants, I think any plant that will grow in Ukraine has been brought there and probably grows wild there at this point. I'll have to take a deeper dive into it and find out more. I was hoping like other stuff would come up, like the Vibrania, the red berry plant that's in Ukraine. Oh yeah, the world's getting ready to go to hell in a handbasket. Ukrainian diet from a century ago is almost the same as it is now. Beetroots, borscht, a lot of grains, porridges, so okay. Garden plots were part of every household, and wild greens were close at hand. Turnips were an important staple, playing a role later taken over by potatoes. Other vegetables which fed Novograd included cucumbers, lentils, beets, carrots, cabbage, onions, garlic, peas, and beans. Soups probably abounded. Vegetables were served raw in season, while in colder times of the year, marinades sufficed. Fresh and dried fruit were available: cherries, apples, plums, pears, raspberries, black currants, as well as raisins, currants, and prunes. Berries were preserved with honey for use in the winter. Mushrooms and fungi. Almonds and walnuts have been found among imported luxury goods. Dried fig, preserved lemons, salted nuts, olive oil. The main crop for Novograd was rye. Wheat was a luxury. The threat of famine was always present. A famine in 1215 forced Novogradians to eat bark and sell their children into slavery. In 1230, the city was racked once again by hunger. Hemp and flax seeds were used for cooking oils. Special events were breads made with honey and poppy seeds. Pies called pierogi or varaniki are mentioned twice in period sources. So, I mean, it was basically the same. It is Europe, so it's the same as Europe. For those that don't know, Novograd was once part of Rus map. So, 980 to 1054. This is the map of Kievan Rus. So Novograd, Ryazan, Sudzil, Rostov, Kiev, Kursk. It has the modern boundaries on it all over the place. You notice Kiev's in the big black dot. You notice something missing here? Because it didn't exist back then. Solominsk. So this was all at one point part of Kievan Rus, which is Ukraine. Uh, Sorry, trying to catch up with chat, and I should be talking and I'm not, so. So, yeah, Moscow didn't come into power until long, long after Kievan Rus. Britannica. This is the early stages of Kievan Rus in the 11th century. Showing it down here in south of Rostov-on-Don, bordering with the Byzantine Empire. Let's see. Do I still have the map up? No, but I'll show you guys one of the most, in my opinion, one of the coolest castles that I really want to visit. Nikolaev, Odessa, and Belgorod. This is the Belgorod-Dniester Fortress, Akhmat. This is a Byzantine castle just south of Odessa in Ukraine.
Sehr windig.
This is one of the castles I wanted to visit before the invasion. I would still want to go visit. But yeah, prime example of, medieval castle. The walkways are missing, but you see the old church that was outside the castle and the village that surrounded it. Yeah. Zoom in here so you can kind of see. Here's the keep, the inner fort, the outer wall, and the old village. Let's see, I hope this is the right one. Nope, it's not. So, again, this is one of the castles I'd like to go see in Ukraine. I love medieval history. I've always told my friends that I was born 1,000 years too early or 1,000 years too late. I either want to be in the Star Wars age or the medieval age. Oh God, I can't spell. There is some very, very beautiful castles in Ukraine. You know, I'd love to have seen this place in its heyday. This one's from the 17th century, so 1600s. You come over here to the far west, closer to the border, and you get castles like this. You know, if that was like restored to how it should look, that's literally Dracula's castle in all the movies. Up on the hill, wall around it, with the village below. Beautiful castles in Ukraine. I definitely recommend going and checking them out. Let's see if I could find this without doing the search. I'm gonna. I think it's in here. Oh, I forgot about this one. Just a ruin, but let me go a different route. This is a hobbit village in the Carpathian Mountains in Ukraine. Kovana in I know it's around here somewhere. I just can't remember exactly. Okay, let's cheat. No, not the fishing camp. I had the right town, but they don't seem to be showing it anymore. But in one of these little valleys, I think it's right here, is a little hobbit village. Yeah, you can see the construction there where they're building the house, then they'll bury it. unfortunately, that's all you can see. But again, that's in this little valley up in the hills just north of that town, Verkhoyana, right there in the middle of Ivano-Frankish Oblast. So yeah, Ukraine has a lot of cool stuff. I hope you see why I wanted to visit there. And hopefully you can too. I'll show you another town I'd like to show off. I won't tell you guys why. But I will tell you this village has special meaning to me. Old medieval church where the town used to be. But just nice small village right at the intersection basically of Zhytomyr, Vinnytsia, and Kiev Oblast. Literally we're looking into Vinnytsia this way. Like up over here is Zhytomyr. And then back over here is towards Kiev. Too far to see it, but that's the oblast. Show you on the map. So Kiev Oblast, Vinnytsia, and Zhytomyr Oblast. A little easier to see on deep state. But that town is right here. Beautiful, beautiful country. And unfortunately, Russia is doing everything it can to destroy it. Looks like all the air alerts have cleared off. Explosion reported 18 minutes ago in Klemensky district. But at least it is over finally. I'm fading out here. Sorry, I was like I'm trying to read chat and I can't even focus on the what's being written, so I can't see the words. I need to either get food or go back to bed. Let's see. A blonde woman goes to the post office to buy stamps for her Christmas cards. Oh, God, that's a bad joke, Niels. Oh. With that, I am going to say goodnight. I'm going to go get something to eat. Thank you for coming to the stream. If you like the stream, hit the like button. If you're not subscribed, please hit subscribe. It helps me out, get the word to more people. But more important than that, I appreciate your support for Ukraine. Obviously, the country very dear to me in many ways. Keep up the support. Keep helping out those fundraisers that you can. It's more important, even more now, because of the uncertainties. And with that, have a good night. Stay safe, everybody. And I need to run to the bathroom. Good night, all.